Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest and welcome to October 1st, 2024. We have about 55 minutes left of trading today, and overall today could be classified as a negative day. XGO down about 0.96%, mining a pretty negative day, down 2%, although tech's up and small caps only down 0.14%. So relatively speaking, an okay day for tech and small caps. Now, the agenda for today's video is I'll talk about some economic news that was released in Australia today, and then we'll have a look at the ASX today, look into best and worst performing sectors, indices, and also companies. And then we're on to the top 5 stocks of the day. Now, I have come up with the top 5, and there's also another 5 or so companies that could have made it into that list. So hopefully I'll touch upon these 5 companies during the rest of the video. And then if I have time, I'll look at some charts. I have none planned as of now. Or, if not charts, have a look at some of your comments. Okay, so let's get stuck into it. Looking at the news flow economic news flow that has been released today. So on Trading Economics website, and to be honest with you, I probably should be looking at this website more and more. I was thinking about this yesterday. So I do actually have a degree in economics, also meteorology. Also have a master's in meteorology, and trading economics suits me perfectly. I would consider myself an investor or trader, also fairly knowledgeable on economics, and this could be a really good website, Trading Economics. Anyway, Australia retail sales growth beat estimates. So retail sales in Australia rose by 0.7% from the prior month in August, picking up from an upwardly revised 0.1 point growth in July and exceeding market forecasts of 0.4%. It was the 5th straight month of increase and the fastest pace since January, driven by warm weather and high spending due to Father Day sales events. There you go. So a pretty good month for retail sales. However, not a good month for building permits. Australia building permits dropped more than expected, slumped 6.1% month over month to 13,991 units in August 2024, reversing sharply. Other economic news around the world: Indonesia inflation rate hits near 3-year low. Japanese shares rebound on softer yen. Oil steady as oversupply eases Mideast concerns. And I did read something about Israel invading Lebanon with ground forces. What's happening there? I don't know. But anyway, lots going on in the world, and we are down. So let's have a look at the ASX today. A fairly negative day, but probably understandable. In fact, I'm just going to have a look at the market today. Notice I'm on Nyrada, and I'll talk about why I'm on Nyrada in a second, or maybe more than a second. And if you do have a look at the XJO, yesterday, the XGO went above the top of the trading range. Now, this has only happened once in the past 15 years, and when it did happen in 2020, in fact, let's have a look at that day. In fact, it might have been a few days. Yep. So the XGO went above the top of the trading range for 5 days, and then it fell fairly quickly after that. Or maybe not quickly, but it only stayed above the top of the trading range for a few days. And yesterday, after that really good day, it went above the top of the trading range, and now it's below it because of this negative day when the market is down about 0.9%. So I'm not surprised this has happened. General weakness in other markets around the world has not helped either. Now, let's have a look at the best and worst performing sectors in indices. See if there's any surprises here. Healthcare has had a pretty good day. That's it's not usual that healthcare has had the best, or that healthcare is the best performing sector. I would assume that CSL's had a good day. Oh, it's Resmed. It's Resmed. And I will discuss Resmed because, funny enough, it is my top 5. It is my top stock of the day, even though the company did not release any ASX announcements, which is intriguing. I'll talk about why it was my top 5 stock of the day. Anyway, so let's have a look. Yeah, well, CSL's had a good day, Resmed's had a good day, Cochlear's had a good day. So the 3 biggest companies in the healthcare sector have had a good day. The 4th biggest has not, Fisher & Paykel, but Pro Medicus is up as well, slightly. So yeah, healthcare has been driven by Resmed, Cochlear, and CSL. Utilities had a good day, telecommunications, IT's had an okay day, while financials, down 1.56%. Is that banks? I would assume it is, and materials down big as well. So that really explains why the XGO has had a really bad day, because the XGO, or the ASX 200, is full of banks and mining companies, particularly ASX 20. In fact, the ASX 20 is down 1.35%, led down by banks and mining. Now, I was saying the other day that there is a chance there's been a bit of rotation from the banks into mining companies, because banks, there's no argument, banks are overvalued right now, and mining companies might be considered undervalued. But it looks like banks and mining have had a bad day. So let's have a quick look at the ASX 20. I'm assuming, I'm going to say 6 companies up, 14 down. 5 up, 1 flat, 14 down. But the majority of the biggest companies are down. Banks and mining companies are all down. So if we actually rank or list these by market cap, there we go. So BHP's down, CBA's down, we have CSL up, but NAB down, Westpac down, ANZ down, Macquarie Group down, Wesfarmers down. In fact, BHP, CBA, Westpac, ANZ and Macquarie all down by over 1%. BHP is down almost 3% and CBA down almost 2%. So this is the reason why the XGO has had a pretty weak day, while small caps and tech have had an okay day, and why also the ASX 20 has had a worse day than the ASX 200, because the biggest companies on the ASX today have had a pretty crappy day. No debate about that. In fact, let's have a look at the best performing companies within the ASX 20. REA Group. I might mention REA Group, up 4.35% for a simple reason. And CSL, Goodman Group, Woolworths and Telstra, Woodside and WiseTech have all had a good day. And a few of those companies, well, one of those companies is considered tech. And Telstra's telecommunications. Anyway, let's get into the top and worst performing companies on the ASX today. We'll look at the top gainers first. And coming in number 1, we have Nyrada. And that is why I actually had a look at the chart. Fairly big turnover. Now, this did not make it into my top 5 stocks of the day, because I actually ranked these companies earlier in the day, funnily enough. And the reason why Nyrada didn't make it is because they released this announcement, or the announcement that has led to the share price rallying at 12 p.m. So I actually completely missed this until it came back to my computer. Drug candidate demonstrates significant cardio protection. That sounds pretty good straight away. Now, I did not, or have not opened up this announcement, and I don't think there's any significant numbers here. Just going through this fairly quickly. A lot of scientific stuff in here, or research stuff. They've got a p-value less than 0.01. I'm not actually an expert on that. Anyway, it says here, demonstrated NYR BY03 demonstrated strong and statistically significant cardio protection following a myocardial infarction by reducing cardiac tissue damage by 86%. Share price up 86%. In fact, that's funny. Reduced damage by 86%. Share price up 69%. And so the market likes it. Let's have a look at the chart. And share price on a bit of a tear today. Is this a breakout? Not quite. It's really interesting. Share price at 11.5 cents. 11 cents right now. 11.5 cents was 20 minutes ago. And it's interesting or intriguing. The share price at 11 or 11.5 cents is where we saw the share price back in March and April. So there is a bit of resistance in this zone, because there would be a fair bit of shareholders who bought between, say, 9 cents and 17 cents in that period, then saw the share price drop all the way back down to 3 cents, almost 3 cents, and they just need to sell out of this dog stock. And so there will be a little bit of resistance today. Haven't seen a lot of volume. Now, the share price did run up the other day on Friday. Share price actually increased 19% on Friday. Did they release anything on Friday? Brain injury program, GLP studies, further update. Doesn't sound exciting. Anyway, so they actually went into training halt this morning at 10:18 a.m. And this is the reason why. So not quite a breakout in my opinion, just because the share price was at these levels back in March and April. But we are looking at a 6-month high right now, for almost a 6-month high for Nyrada. Now, this again is not the sort of announcement that would me being really excited about the future of a company to the point where I might take a position in the company, because they haven't quite reached that point just yet, because I am a little bit more risk averse. Those who like to take risk, this could be the catalyst for taking a position in Nyrada. And you're just going to have to deal with a lot of volatility. And I would assume there's going to be a lot of volatility. But this could be the start of an uptrend for this company. The only probably little negative I would have is the volume, much lower than what we saw back in late February. On that day, there was massive volume. And on that particular day in February, share price went up 421%. And you can see the share price did go up a little bit from there, but then drifted lower as the interest in this company actually died out. So these companies do need to maintain interest, or investor interest, or market interest in a company to keep the share price going up. That's the tricky thing these companies have to, I suppose, manage. Okay, so Nyrada had a really good day. And notice on market index, it was up 84.62%. So it has dropped a little bit in the last 20 minutes or so. Other than Nyrada, a few other of these companies have gone up on pretty good turnover, like Lunnon Metals, a company I've never heard of, LM8. I'm assuming because it does have a number in its ticker code that this was a recent listing. And today, 23 meters at 16.61 grams per ton gold, headlines latest Lady Herial results. That's a pretty good hit, just based off 23 meters at 16.61. That seems pretty good. And on the 23rd of September, Lady Herial delivers 18 meters at 5.27. So today's results much better than the one they released on the 23rd of September. So let's have a look at the chart for LM8, Lunnon Metals. And you can see the share price in a downtrend, really big volume. Not only today, we can see a really good volume just coming in before this, the last 3 trading days. So that could be a signal, or could have been a signal if you're reading this particular chart. But other than that, again, share price in a downtrend. This seems like a pretty good announcement, but a lot of resistance moving forward for this company, because all those shareholders who bought at higher prices, and this company listed in 2021. So it's been around for a while. But anyway, share price looking much better than it did a few days ago, but nice volume coming in for Lunnon Metals. We also have Altech Batteries, ATC, and up 36.84%. Altech Renergen 60 kilowatt prototype completed. So the market likes that particular announcement. Now, just the wording of that, something's completed. I don't know, wouldn't fill me with excitement, or maybe shareholders it does. Seeing something completed, oh, that's exciting. But for me personally, no. Then again, I don't know this company all too well. I assume they have something to do with batteries. And if we have a look at the charts, again, share price has been a downtrend. A nice day, nice rally in the share price. So this, when I see the chart, sort of a one-day candlestick like that, after the company has released an announcement, they released at 8:13 a.m. Share price yesterday closed at 3.8 cents. Today it opened at 3.9. So there was an initial assignment in this announcement. So what might be happening today is a bit of day trading happening, sending the share price higher. Anyway, so this nice volume coming in, I'll grant you that. But otherwise, I'm not interested in this company or this particular announcement. And the other one here is Australian Rare Earths, AR3, and significant resource expansion at Copper Mara. But they released that yesterday. And yesterday, the share price rallied 27.66% after the previous day rallying to 25.33%. This chart is going to look interesting just based off the share price, increasing a fair bit over the last few days. This does look interesting. So sudden interest in this company after a long-term downtrend. It's going to be interesting to see how long this rally lasts. I would assume, this is just me assuming, that there will be a chance the share price falls back significantly after this little hype period comes to an end. But I'm going to put this into my high volume spec. Anything else here? We have Sigma Healthcare. I actually will talk about Sigma Healthcare. It has made it into my top 5 stocks of the day. Not sure why the share price is up 21%. I'm reading that particular announcement not differently, but again, it's not really filling me with significant excitement to rush in and buy some shares in that company. But maybe the market is thinking the takeover or the reverse takeover, I'm calling it, is more likely now. I'll talk about why. And now let's have a look by market cap. So we have Sigma Healthcare. Appen's just a plaything for day traders. The Smart Parking. Namoi Cotton. I did see an announcement in regards to this company. They, where was it? Olam Agri Seeds to LDC in Namoi Cotton bidding war. So there has been a bidding war for Namoi Cotton. It looks like we have our winner today. What's it say? Negative gains, negative gearing broad begins as Albanese declines to real tweaks. Okay. Anyway, so let's have a look at the chart for Namoi. And you'll be able to see the share price. It definitely has takeover signals here. So the first takeover was the 28th of November. The share price went sideways. The second takeover looks like was around about the 21st of March. And share price not acting like there's a takeover bidding war happening over the last few months, but definitely you can see the benefits of a bidding war. So the first bid would have been around about 50 cents or so, and share price of this company now is at 77 cents. Who thought Cotton Company would be really wanted by probably private equity, I'm assuming? Cotton. Anyway, so I did actually have Namoi down as one of the companies I wanted to talk about. So I could cross that off the list right now. And I've crossed Nyrada off as well. Anything else here? Airtasker are up. Integrated Research up. There's Altech. APM is up as well. That's all I got when it comes to the best or the top gainers today. Let's have a look at the top losers. See if there's anything exciting here. Frontier Energy down 46.6%. I did want to discuss this company. And the only reason is because the share price is down on a fairly big turnover. And the company did release something today. I did not open it up. I don't know much about this company. I just saw the share price was down. So they did release a Waruna Renewable Energy Project update. Now, it must be pretty negative because the share price is down 45%. Share price has dropped from 22 cents to 12 cents. So without even opening up, we probably know it's negative. Now, I don't know anything about this company. I could try to find why it's negative. And just this third paragraph, this was due to a significant reserve capacity surplus in the ranking system applied under the wholesale electricity market. So some sort of RCC outcome, reserve capacity credits. Oh, they were assigned 87.2 megawatts. So maybe the market doesn't like that. Maybe the market was expecting something more when it comes to that particular number, and that's why the share price is down. I'm making assumptions here. Again, I don't know much about this company. In fact, I don't know anything about this company. Now, let's have a look at the chart. And straight away, this is a really negative chart. Share price not long ago, in fact, at the end of July, share price of this company was 60 cents. Now it's 11.5 cents. In fact, I remember this chart thinking, ooh, this chart looks pretty good. So back in June, July, it was looking pretty good. And the share price has fallen like a rock. And there's been a couple of sell signals here. The first sell signal was this really big down day on the 24th of July. Share price dropped 15%. And then, of course, the second obvious sell signal was on the 28th of August, share price down 37%. And now share price down a fair bit again. So not a good few months for Frontier Energy. And that is a problem with these types of companies. I'm assuming this company has no revenue. It's more of a story stock than anything. And that can be the problem with story stocks. Okay, so that's Frontier Energy. Don't have to speak about that company again. Can Group, probably a bit of profit taking. The share price has rallied a fair bit. And a company called Australian Wealth Advisors Group. Ticker is WAG. There you go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they listed not that long ago. WAG. Let me just verify that. Oh, yeah, they listed because it goes back. They listed in a few months ago. They listed 20th of December 2023. And the reason I say that, even though there is a chart here, before that date, the previous date was the 16th of December 2011. So there was another company back in 2011 who had a ticker WAG. And for some reason, TradingView doesn't distinguish between the two. On occasion it does, but in this case it didn't. Really big volume coming in when Australian Wealth Advisors started trading, but I have not had a look at this company. Anyway, and let's have a look at the top losers by market cap. Star Entertainment Group, share price rallied a fair bit yesterday. Now it's dropping understandable. You're going to see a fair bit of volatility with our company. Fonterra Shareholders Fund down. I wonder if that's gone ex-dividend. 40 Medical has rallied the last 2 days. Now the share price is falling, so a bit of profit taking. Probably same thing with Core Lithium, up 30% yesterday, now down 11.5%. And other than that, nothing else here. Okay, so let's get to the top 5 stocks of the day. But before we do that, I'm just going to go through some of the companies that didn't quite make it. And I'll do this fairly quick because I don't want to be overly strapped for time, because I do have to finish this by probably in 25 minutes. Now, there's a company called Protean Energy. They've acquired a rare earth and niobium-focused aurora mineral. Now, I'm pretty sure this was sort of a shell of a company, and that's what they decided to do. So go into two, I wouldn't say, should I say hype areas? Go into areas that are a bit of exciting right now. Not sure that's the way to play it. I think mining companies, particularly mine exploring companies, should try to get into a project that could be quite exciting in the future, like 2 or 3 years down the line. Anyway, Protean Energy, it's not trading right now, but for those who have some shares in this company, looks like you'll be an owner of a rare earth and niobium focused company. Maybe they're going to be called Aurora Minerals. So that's Protean Energy. I'll talk about Real Estate Group towards the end. Biome, share price only up 1.43%. Record quarterly sales revenue for the first quarter. Getting in really early at the first day of the new quarter. Actually, it's not really the first day. The first day of the second month of the new quarter, they're getting in talking about how they are performing. That's one of the reasons I actually do like this company. They have a really good marketing team, and they're just talking about record quarterly sales. But to be honest with you, this shouldn't be much of a surprise. This company should be achieving record sales every quarter. Now, only an increase of $450,000 from the fourth quarter financial year 24, or 12%, but still that's a fair good increase. And sales revenue of increase of 1.51 million versus the previous corresponding period, or 55%. So that's a nice increase from the previous corresponding period, or 1 year ago. And I think this company is either going to be profitable or cash flow generative in this quarter or the next few quarters. So looking pretty good for Biome, and the chart still looking pretty good. No reasons to be upset about this chart. It's a beautiful chart, a little bit of volatility in there, nice volume. So don't know why anyone would complain about this chart. Okay, so let's move on to another company. Just got to get rid of that bio. Oh, Life360. This is an interesting one. I noticed Life360 share price was up today. I was like, well, why is Life360 share price up 2.3%? And Capital Brief told me Life360 shares advance as Goldman Sachs hikes estimates. Now, I did not open this up. They lifted its estimates and valuation ahead of the US technology company third quarter results, reiterated a buy rating, and raised its target price 11% to $21.85. They also increased its EBITDA forecast by 5% in 24, 7% in financial year 25, and 16% in financial year 26, leaving it 7 to 10% ahead of consensus EBITDA estimate. So again, the market likes it when these experts lift their guidance or their expectations, and hence Life360 is up. Was it 2.7%? And let's have a look at the chart for Life360. I am trading this company right now, and I will sell it if it gets below about $16.50. But I really want to see the share price of Life360 get above $20. It almost got above $20 about a month ago, the 26th of August, so just over a month ago, and pulled back. So again, round numbers are resistance and support levels. And Life360 round number here is $20. So keeping an eye on $20, and if it gets past $20, that would be a good move for Life360. Okay, and another company. Here's another company I'm keeping a close eye on. I did like this company about 5 years ago, Orbital Corporation. This company develops motors for drones or unmanned aerial vehicles or something like that. And production, share price up 11.4%. Production option exercise for further 3.5 million. Now, I once was a shareholder of this company. I'm no longer a shareholder, so I sold quite a while ago because there was some issues. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, so confirming that he has mutually agreed the option extension under a protection agreement to increase original order volumes for key Singapore customer DSO National Laboratories totaling $3.5 million. Yes. And I think I remember now, one of the reasons why I got out of this company is because they did have a really good relationship with Boeing, or one of Boeing's subsidiaries, and that relationship became fractured or something. And you can sort of see that with the chart. So if we go back about 5 years ago, there was a little bit of excitement in this company. In fact, let's have a look at the weekly chart. Yeah, actually, it was only about 4 years ago. So 2020, fair bit of excitement in this company. Share price rallied all the way to $1.50. Share price now 8.8 cents. In fact, I'm pretty sure this company was profitable back in 2020. Let's confirm that. Yeah, they were profitable in 2020, and you can see the revenue has dropped significantly from 34 million in financial year 20 down to 12.6 million in the last financial year. I'm pretty sure that's because of this relationship with Boeing, or Boeing's subsidiary. Okay, and finally, before we get the top 5 stocks of the day, REA Group. REA Group up 4.55% because they withdrew the possible offer for Rightmove, even though they're saying to Rightmove people, hey, this is a really good offer. I have no complaints. I have no complaints about REA Group withdrawing this offer. I am not the biggest fan of pretty big acquisitions, and this would be an acquisition. And I'm a fan of Rightmove directors saying, no, get lost, because I wish more of the directors who own or run my companies that are being taken over would do that as well. Get lost. You are undervaluing the company. Now, I did have a look at Rightmove, and they haven't really grown the last few years. This company has gone stagnant. So maybe REA Group's management thought, hey, this company might be cheap based off the potential of the company, and we could do a better job than the current management. I do like this particular little comment. REA is committed to its capital allocation framework and maintains a disciplined approach to mergers and acquisitions. So I'm going to have to give management for the company, so give them a tick up or thumbs up because they haven't increased their offer. Yeah. And I would say the Rightmove share price will fall a fair bit. In fact, you can look at it. Rightmove. It's listed on the LSE, the Lunnon Stock Exchange. And yeah, share price actually dropped last night. And if you actually have a look, this is the weekly chart, by the way. So share price, yeah, has been floundering the last 3 years. But if you go before that, this is a telltale sign of a really good quality company. Share price has increased significantly from 2010 through to 2021. Beautiful uptrend, sort of similar to REA Group's chart. But again, I had a look at the numbers, financial numbers, and the company's just not growing. Revenue's growing a little bit, but profit's not growing. So maybe REA Group management were thinking, hey, we could actually change things. We could make this company grow. 9-slide glide. The REA approach to Rightmove made me somewhat uneasy as an REA shareholder and highlights why it can be a problem being a minority shareholder alongside News Corp. Who knows what News Corp's motivations are for seeking a takeover for Rightmove? There was an article I read that suggested the move could help support the numerous News Corp media businesses in the UK. That may or may not be the best interest of other REA shareholders. All in all, it's probably a good thing that the deal has fallen over. I actually sort of do agree with that. I do like that this deal has fallen over. I wasn't a fan of it. It seems like the market wasn't a fan of it because it still has fallen over. The share price has rallied. That's a good sign. And a good thing. Well, that's not a good thing. That's a sign that the market didn't really like this potential takeover. I've also read that the News Corp management or the CEO or someone involved with News Corp has actually come out and applauded REA Group for showing constraint. Maybe that was just words. They just needed to say that. So maybe they didn't want this takeover either. Just throwing that out there in a bit of a contrarian opinion to 9-slide glide. Okay, and by the way, let's have a little chart for REA Group. And yeah, this is a much better chart than Rightmove. So we did see the share price of REA Group drop back in 2022, but it's taken off again. And REA Group is not slowing down its growth. It's still growing. And I do think this could, I don't know, actually I won't say. I was going to say this could be this takeover could have been beneficial for Rightmove shareholders because they would get shares in a better company if they receive shares. Pretty sure they would have. I don't know, actually. Anyway, the daily chart looks pretty good. The share price popping up, and I would like to see the share price get above 220. That's just me, as a shareholder, long-term shareholder of REA Group. Okay, so let's get to the top 5 stocks of the day finally, 30 minutes into this video. I might have to go through this fairly quickly. Let's start with Sigma Healthcare. So you could say, share price is up 21%. Why is this coming in at number 5? ACCC public consultation regarding proposed undertakings. I actually did see this announcement. In fact, there's 2 here. And, okay, I mean, they pointed out, so this is from the ACCC, and Sigma has offered a court-enforceable undertaking that would require Sigma to do a few things. I won't point these things out, but it seems like what the market is thinking with regards to these court-enforceable undertakings, that it's more likely that this reverse takeover will proceed. That is what I'm getting out of the market reaction. Now, they did try to say down here, while the ACCC is publicly consulting on this undertaking, this should not be interpreted to mean that this or any other form of undertaking will ultimately be accepted by the ACCC. The market is saying BS to Ms. Cass Gottlieb. BS. This is now more than likely this particular reverse takeover will go through, and the market likes it. Now, I think the market is getting a little bit too excited now, and even if this does go through, I think Chemist Warehouse probably is a little bit overvalued, but a pretty good-looking chart, to be honest with you. So is there too much excitement when it comes to this particular reverse takeover? Because if it doesn't go through, the share price of Sigma Healthcare will drop significantly. In fact, it could drop 50%. So that means the market is quite confident this is going to get through. And the market's probably more smarter than I am, so I would think this will go through. The ACCC will accept this particular reverse takeover. So that's Sigma coming in at number 5. I've already talked about Life 360. I did have Life 360 at number 4. Never already talked about that. Lo and behold. Okay, so let's move on to number 3. Renergen. Okay, so October is Appendix 4C and 5B month. The majority of companies that have to release their Appendix 4C or 5B will release it in October. But that's not absolutely true. There is a company called Renergen. In fact, I think there's another company. I think it's Southern Cross Gold. So, yeah, so they released their Appendix 5B yesterday. So their quarter's a little bit different. Their quarters, instead of finishing at the end of July, August, September, end of September, their particular quarter finished at the end of August. So they had to release their Appendix 5B or 4C by the end of September. And that's why you see this one from Southern Cross. I'm not sure why the share price is down 9.9%. So obviously there might have been something in that Appendix 5B. I didn't open it up because this company is not a producer, but Renergen does have cash receipts. Who's heard of Renergen? Hands up. I have heard of it, but I've never had a look at it. It's an energy company. So let's have a look at their quarterly report, their Appendix 5B. You notice just below that, plant producing with maintenance complete. So plant producing does suggest they are producing something, and they are producing something. And what they're producing is hydrogen. Now, first thing to note, this is the first thing I looked at or saw, incorporated in the Republic of South Africa. So they do report in Rand, R-A-N-D. So that is one thing. And, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's helium they produce, not hydrogen. So the helium plant is at temperature and operational, taking ownership of the helium facility with successful production of liquid helium at the VGP. LNG production stable when compared to previous quarters in the prior 12 months. So LNG production, helium, that sort of thing. LNG production over the last 4 quarters. Nice little pickup in the last or the previous quarter. Helium system integration completed. So very exciting. Now let's have a look at the Appendix 5B or the quarterly cash flow report for this particular company. So again, they report in Rand, which is ZAR. I'm pretty sure ZAR is Dutch for something. I'm pretty sure R is Rand. I could be completely wrong. What is ZAR? Let's have a look. ZAR. South Africa. What does ZAR mean in South Africa? The South African Rand. I'm pretty sure it's Dutch for something. But I just want to know Dutch for what? Sometimes I get curious and I just have to find out what it is. Or Zoid African Nash. I'm pretty sure that's what it probably means. Zoid Afrikaans Republic. Oh, I'm just assuming that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm assuming Zoid is South in Dutch. Afrikaans is Africa and Republic is Republic. Pretty certain the last two. Anyway, so we've learned something today. Well, I have anyway. Okay. Back to Renergen. In Rand, I have no idea the conversion rate. In fact, we could do that easily. And there we go. 1 South African Rand equals 0.052 euros. What about the Aussie dollar? So 1 South African Rand is equal to 8.4 cents. So we're just going to divide this by 10. And if we do that, this company had receipts of we'll say 1.5 million Australian dollars, which is not a lot. So it looks actually much higher when you look at this receipts in Rand. So 17.553 million Rand in this particular quarter. Company's not, well, that's a lie. For the first 6 months, company is not or was not or is not operating cash flow positive. But they did receive 30.896 million Rand in restricted cash. I have no idea what that is, but that means the company was operating cash flow positive. But they did burn through 20.4 million Rand in property, plant and equipment and 9.9 million in exploration and valuation. So this company is burning through a fair bit of cash. And not only that, borrowings increased by 66 million Rand. So we'll say $11 million, Australian dollars. They do have about $100 million of Rand, so $10 million or so in Australian dollars. And debt. The other thing is debt. Where's debt? Section 7. $993 million Rand of debt. So that's almost $100 million Australian dollars of debt. So that is a little bit concerning, but who knows? Maybe what they're doing right now will lead to significant cash flow in the future. I don't know this company at all. So let's have a look at the chart for RLT. And chart looks pretty negative. No, I don't have any positive things to say about Renergen's chart at this point in time. Possibly, there was a nice little run in the share price on the 9th of August. Share price on that day rose 37.5%. And we have seen the share price dip a little bit. Now, if the share price doesn't fall back below 75 cents, that could be a good thing moving forward. So possible. Now, if you're being an optimist, possible a downtrend is coming to an end. I'm just saying possible. Okay, so because I completely already talked about Life 360, that is Renergen coming in at number 3. Now let's have a look at company coming in at number 2, Mosaic Brands. No training here. They have to release their results, their financial results and report. They did provide a business update. Now, I have thrown my opinion out there that I'm a bit dubious that this company will be on the ASX for much longer. But this announcement might fill me with a little bit of hope if I was a shareholder. So what they're doing, so they just mentioned that they still have to finalise their financial year 24 annual results. They will lodge their Appendix 4E and audited financial results once they are finalised. So don't know when that's going to be. But they have gone through some sort of strategic review or something. I'm not sure what they call it. But anyway, the CEO has mentioned they're going to be rationalising their brand portfolio. So what they're doing is they will be winding down 5 brands. So this company has about 10 brands, which have become marginal or non-core, allowing them to focus on 5 or growth brands. I just don't understand how a company could generate like $500 million of revenue and not be profitable. But that has been Mosaic Brands' problem over the past few years. Now, these 5 brands they will be exiting are probably the 5 ones I know nothing about. Rockman's, Autograph, Crossroads, W Lane, and Biome. I could not tell you what they're selling. I could guess and say there's just women clothing. Just an educated guess. And they'll be maintaining Miller's, Noni B, Rivers, and Katie's brand. And fun enough, those are probably the 4 brands I do know, I have heard of. The other ones not. And they're going to have a standalone online Mosaic marketplace. I do like this pivot and just focusing on these main brands. And maybe these main brands will lead to Mosaic brands becoming profitable. And maybe now's the time to think about buying some shares in this company. I'm still a little bit wary about their financial position, but maybe a little bit better news for shareholders of this company. So that's Mosaic Brands coming in at number 2. It's not all bad news for this company, but they haven't traded since the 30th of August, so 1 month without trading. And you can see the share price dropped 21.7% the last time they traded. In fact, if you look at the chart, it's an ugly chart. But sometimes ugly charts can lead to beautiful things in the future. If this is the worst for it, if this is the worst of it for Mosaic Brands, if this is a low, who knows what the share price could do over the next few years? Because if you go back a few years ago, Mosaic Brands was $3.80 back in 2018. More than likely, it won't get back up to those levels, but I'd say the likelihood is fairly low. But if it does, this could be a huge wealth winner for shareholders. But don't buy shares just because I said that. It could. Chances of that happening, 1%, maybe even less than 1%. Anyway, so that's Mosaic Brands. Anyway. Okay, so number 1, Resmed. Resmed? What's happening with Resmed? They've released no announcement. Oh, share price only up 2%. It was up a little bit more earlier. Just a little bit more. But no announcements. Last announcement was on the 4th of September. But if you go to their website, Resmed unveils 2030 strategy to drive growth, profitability, and shareholder returns. They released this at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the United States. Why is there no announcement of this on the ASX? So I had to find this out for myself. The reason I found this out was Capital Brief. Thank you, Capital Brief. And where is it? Resmed gains on 2030 strategy, 5-year financial outlook. If you do know anything about me, you will know I love companies who have longer-term outlooks, like 5 years, 8-year outlooks. I really like that. I like companies that have a longer-term goals. Anyway, and the reason I'm going to look at and focus on Capital Brief is because they've really summarized the context much better than I could do. So the new 2030 strategy comprises 3 pillars to drive growth. Grow and differentiate Resmed's core sleep apnea franchise led by demand generation and demand capture. Capitalize on Resmed's market opportunity and brand advantage in broader sleep health and breathing health adjacencies. And invest 7% of revenue into R&D to invent, create, and differentiate a fully integrated digital ecosystem for health technology delivered at home. Dual-listed Resmed said it expects to help more than 500 million people worldwide achieve their full health potential in 2030. Also planned a 5-year revenue and earnings growth outlook, including plans to accelerate product and technology innovation. There you go. So I do like the very fact that they do have a 5-year plan. We go back to this particular their website or their page here. So their 5-year financial outlook, high single-digit revenue growth. So we're talking about probably between 7 and 9%. Earnings growth higher than revenue growth. So they are expecting margin expansion. So maybe earnings growth could be 10 to 13% per year. And that's reasonable. Now, it probably doesn't mean the company is undervalued or overvalued right now, but the market does like it. And I actually also like it. So that's why Resmed is the stock of the day, because they've done something I really like, and that's a 5-year goal, 5-year plans. And I think it's very beneficial that all companies have these longer-term goals. And the chart for Resmed still looks pretty good. On occasion, you'll see the share price dip because of new Eli Lilly or Ozempic stuff that people think is going to destroy this company. But you can see the market got that completely wrong this time last year. In fact, it was about this time last year the share price of Resmed reached its low. In fact, the low was about 13th of October at 21.14. Yep, that was a low. $21.14. Now the share price is $35, which means the share price has increased 67% in the last year. And this is why I do like to see this happen on occasion to companies I do like. I had never owned Resmed before that happened. And then I bought quite a few shares. Opportunistic. Okay. That's all I have for this particular video. No comments because, unfortunately, I've rattled on a little bit too much when it comes to some of these announcements that were released today. So if you have any questions, any thoughts, leave it in the comment section of this particular video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.